The fascinating short story in 6 parts of Glucose Spike, part 6 of 6, Glucose Spike's twin brother, Glucose Spike plus free radicals, antioxidants, insulin, and diabetes. Can't live without them. A warning shot heard around the world. The connection with Glucose Spike. Wow, human life is pretty mystical and magical. How about some useful glucose spike guidance? Glad you asked. Part 6, our story characters. Professor Owl, Glucose Spike, the mighty mitochondria, efficient electron, free radical, and antioxidant. During metabolism, mitochondria making energy, and exercise, exposure to pollution, X-rays, smoking, processed foods, or inflammation, body's response to fighting infection, atom outer shell valence electrons are moved about. Remember all that from part 1? Free radical molecules sneak in or are created in our body chemistry. Free radicals are unstable reactive molecules having unpaired outer atomic shell valence electrons. Hand over an electron, bub. Seeking to steal and damage, called oxidative stress, an electron from other healthy molecules, DNA, proteins, even cell membranes. White blood cells, responding to inflammation, promote production of free radicals using oxygen. As a defense against bacteria, free radicals can kill bacteria. Hand over an electron, bub. But the radicals are not choosy and can also attack healthy non-bacteria cells. The free radical can wear both a white hat and a black hat. Loss of electrons stolen by free radicals damages healthy molecules that contribute to aging, cancer, heart disease, and Alzheimer's. In the diagram you see our healthy cell with a free radical in it. It has an unpaired electron. It's looking for an electron donor. It wants to steal an electron from somewhere. Antioxidants, an anti-inflammatory health bodyguard, can neutralize and provide free of charge one of their electrons to the free radical, protecting health molecules. The antioxidant bodyguard is willing to give up an electron to the free radical. Antioxidant to the rescue. And as we can see, the free electron from the antioxidant can move to the free radical. And the free radical thanks. Now I am stable. Yippee! The antioxidant molecules are not harmed by the loss of their electron. Antioxidant to the rescue. Antioxidants include vitamin C, water-soluble in fruits, vitamin E, fat-soluble from nuts, seeds, and vegetable oils, beta-carotene from carrots and sweet potatoes, selenium from Brazil nuts and seafood, polyphenols from tea, berries, and dark chocolate. Balance matters between free radicals and antioxidants. Thus, free radicals from inflammation or mitochondria reactions or toxins causes damage to healthy cells. Antioxidants help clean it up. Let's use the reactive outer energy shell valence electron information covered in Part 1 to help us better understand free radicals. Hand over an electron, bub. Consider the reaction of methane. It's 1 carbon atom and 4 hydrogen atoms, CH4, natural gas, reacting with chlorine gas, which is 2 chlorine atoms, Cl2. The atom electron energy cell structure explained in Part 1 is carbon has 6 electrons, hydrogen has 1 electron, and chlorine has 17 electrons. The molecular formula with electron bonding is shown in the diagram. Methane plus chlorine, they're reacting with one another. Adding initiation energy breaks the hydrogen and chlorine bonds in these molecules, resulting in 4 free radical molecules, all looking to pair up an unpaired valence electron. The free radical molecules' unpaired valence electrons are reactive molecules, looking to pair up, steal another electron to make it stable. Free radicals can react, pair up their unpaired electrons to form new products. In this example, we're producing hydrogen chloride and chlorinated methane. Free radicals are formed in our bodies wanting to steal electrons from healthy cells, but antioxidant molecules have an electron to share, which reduces the destruction of free radicals. What's the big deal about insulin? Your belly growls or your stomach sends a "I am hungry" ghrelin hormone signal to your brain hypothalamus. This triggers your brain to cause us to eat. Food, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats are digested much to glucose. Glucose is the preferred fuel your body needs for energy. Glucose, blood sugar, flows in our bloodstream to our cells. Glucose in our bloodstream triggers the pancreas to release the hormone insulin. Insulin controls the amount of glucose in our blood by helping to get rid of it. Insulin promotes glucose passing through our cell walls, where inside the cell, the mighty mitochondria uses the glucose fuel to make ATP, the body's charged battery. Excess glucose, digested carbohydrates, not used in our cells, is either converted by insulin and leptin hormones to glycogen, linked molecules of glucose, and stored in the liver or muscles, or converted to triglyceride lipid fatty acids once glycogen storage is full, and stored in our adipose, subcutaneous, or visceral fat tissue for possible later use as energy fuel in our cells. That gobbledygook just means we've got excess calories we've eaten, and instead of being used as energy in our bodies, it's converted to fat and stored in our fat cells. When we are hungry, the liver hormone glucagon is also released from the pancreas, converting, aided by ghrelin, any stored glycogen in the liver back to glucose for use by our cells. That is, when we're hungry, the stored glycogen is broken down to glucose and used in our cells. Glycogen stored in muscles is used directly by the muscle cells for its energy needs. Insulin and glucagon, aided by ghrelin and leptin, are important hormones to keep our glucose, blood sugar, in balance, a well-coordinated dance. Not too much glucose would be hyperglycemia, and not too little, which is hypoglycemia. A word about diabetes. Actually 3. Just say no. A disease that adversely affects how your body processes glucose blood sugar. You do not have enough insulin. Danger: low insulin Type 1 diabetes. The body just does not produce insulin. It requires a daily insulin injection. The insulin factory in the pancreas was never built. Type 2 diabetes. Insulin resistance. You just don't produce enough insulin. You have a factory, but it's faulty. You can manage that by lifestyle change or possibly daily insulin injections. The insulin shots heard around the world. The long-term risks have been managed: heart disease, kidney damage, nerve damage, vision loss, amputations. Without insulin, our bodies cannot move glucose fuel into our cells and mitochondria. Thus no energy for our heart, lung, brain, digestion, temperature. We die. You cannot store excess glucose for later use. When we eat, our glucose blood sugar, measured as milligrams per deciliter in our blood, naturally increases, then decreases as our body uses it for fuel energy. How high and for how long our glucose level rises in our blood is known as our glucose spike, our blood sugar roller coaster. Glycemic variability is the fluctuation curve during the day of how high and low our blood sugar swings. Based on American Diabetes Association daily blood sugar suggestions, ideal daily blood sugar should be between 70 and 140 milligrams per deciliter. Too high blood sugar, hyperglycemia, if it's above 140. Too low blood sugar, hypoglycemia, if it's below 70. What is glycemic index, GI? It is a scale of 0 to 100 that ranks how quickly carbohydrate foods raise the glucose or blood sugar level in our blood. Factoid: proteins and fats are not included in the index because they have minimal impact on the glucose spike. They're not easily converted to glucose. A low of 1 to 55, you digest food slowly. It's a gradual increase in blood sugar rise, such as eating an apple. Medium glycemic index, 56 to 69, is a moderate increase in blood sugar, such as eating corn. A high glycemic index, quick digestion and rapid blood sugar spikes, such as white rice. All things in moderation. Eat balanced meals. What is glycemic load index, GL? It's a scale of 0 to over 20, and it also is how fast carbohydrates increase your glucose blood sugar levels. But it also includes the typical amount of carbs eaten, considered a better measure of glucose spiking potential. A low blood sugar increase would be 10 or less on the GL scale. Medium, 11 to 19. Higher than 20 is considered a high glycemic load. All things in moderation. Eat balanced meals. A high GI or a low GI? Unregulated glucose spikes and glycemic variability, which means you have a high glycemic index and load, can lead to excess production of damaging free radicals, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, cognitive decline such as Alzheimer's, accelerated aging, inflammation, overweight, stroke, liver disease, heart palpitations, bad cholesterol, high LDL and low HDL, chronic respiratory disease, and lions and tigers and bears, oh my. What to do? A lifestyle to help regulate your glucose spikes and glycemic variability. A balanced diet. Manage processed foods that have excess sugar, dopamine attraction, and removed fiber. Eat sitting down. Ideally, eat vegetables first, protein second, carbohydrates last. Soluble unsaturated fats are okay. Include fiber in that diet. The order of eating and fiber slows up the glucose absorption, reduces the glucose spike. It's a good thing. Undigestible, soluble, or insoluble fibers get in the way by slowing down the absorption of glucose into the blood. That's why you should eat those first. It helps regulate the glucose moving into your bloodstream. Have a regular exercise program. Stress management. Rest. Our body chemistry and how we feel physically and moody is affected how dramatic our glucose spike swings, since it causes a rush of various hormones to flood our bodies. Maintaining a well-regulated glucose spike is a good thing. All things in moderation. End of Part 6. Summary. Free radicals. They fight infection, but have a bad side. Antioxidants help control the radicals. Insulin holds the passkey of letting glucose into cells to fuel the body's mitochondria energy engines. It manages the glucose inventory. Diabetes, just say no if you can. Insulin treatment, a lifelong partner if short on supply. Glycemic index, load, and variability affect blood sugar glucose spikes. Manage like your life depends on it. End of Part 6.